Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Left Off the Map. This recipe started with in my mind as a fresh version of a very famous Italian dish called puttanesca. I want to try and every opportunity I get to boost the flavour in it. And I'm going to do that with the pasta by cooking the pasta in chicken stock. So I've got my chicken stock, pop that in and treat this as you would water. So pasta is a dehydrated product. So when you cook it, it absorbs the water or the moisture into the pasta. And what we're going to do is absorb stock. So the seasoned water, the flavoured water, which is the stock, will go into the pasta and add an extra layer of flavour to this dish. So we're using farfalle. Most people know farfalle as bow ties, but its actual name is farfalle. So I get my stock on. Once that comes up to the boil, pop my farfalle in there and cook that for the amount. So 12 minutes is on here. I'm going to cook it for the full 12 minutes. Normally take it out a little bit earlier because I want it to be al dente, but I want this to soak up as much of that stock as I possibly can. While that's getting to the boil, we'll start with our sauce, our fresh sauce. So pan on. We want a decent amount of olive oil because this isn't a sort of crushed tomato based sauce. We're using the olive oil and the juices that will come out of the tomato as we cook them as our sauce. Our cherry tomatoes, I want to cut these in half, and then once I add them to the pan as I cook them, they'll collapse a little bit, they'll release some of the juices that are inside the tomato, and that'll be the sauce. That emulsification between the juices that come out of the tomato and the oil is what will stick to our pasta and create our sauce. And then instead of using chili flakes, I'm going to use fresh chili for this one. And then dried herbs would normally go into a puttanesca. When I use fresh basil, garlic normally goes in there as well. All right, pop them in. So in with our tomatoes, I want some garlic. So 2 cloves of garlic. 5 or 6 anchovy fillets, chop them finely and pop them in. And as they cook out, they'll sort of melt into the sauce and help flavour the sauce. That's a big chunk of our seasoning right there. Capers. Our chilli. And once I've reduced that white wine, oil, tomato mixture by about half, a little bit of lemon juice, I'll turn that off and wait for our pasta to be cooked. And then when I bring my pasta over, we'll finish the dish off with some of the stock pasta water, which is going to help thicken our sauce so that our sauce sticks to our pasta, and the pasta itself, which is well seasoned. Then we'll finish off with our cheeses. Once my pasta was cooked, I've spooned it into the pan with the sauce and then taken probably half a cup to almost a cup of that pasta water, so that stock, and taken that in as well. And that will help thicken up our sauce and also add flavour because it's stock that we were cooking in, not just salted water. So I'll turn that off. And then the residual heat that's in there, I want to stir in some of this Persian feta. Pop it in. So this Persian feta is truffle infused. So not only are we going to get the creaminess of the Persian feta go through the sauce, but we'll also get that truffle flavour go through the sauce. Then you can add as much of that as you want. Whether you want it to still be sort of a light pasta, add probably the amount that I added, or you can double that amount if you want this pasta sauce to have a little bit more body. You can see how that sauce is nice and clingy, what we want. It's going to stick to our pasta. And apart from the small amount of feta we added, You see how creamy it is? We didn't really add anything other than our pasta water and our olive oil. And it's that emulsification of the starchy water and the oil, but the starch in that pasta water that we use as the base sauce, that's what holds the oil and the water together and gives it that creamy look. Finish off with some Parmesan cheese. Now this is a dish that would be perfect for some nice, warm, fresh made crusty bread.